2007 Chevy Equinox having an issue with the key, turning the engine off and the key won't come out of the ignition. It was funny when we first had this issue. The driver's side speakers stopped working, both of these, and after that the key would come out just fine. These are the speakers that give all the warnings for your lights being on or the keys in the ignition, as well as your turn signals. Once the speaker stopped working, the key came out just fine, and then just recently the speaker started working again and we started having the same issue. When I checked Google, I found that nobody really had a solution for this problem. Lots of answers, but nothing definitive. People even taking it to the dealer and having things replaced, and it might have worked for a while and then went back to the same problem. So I did find someone who had an issue with a Traverse, and I thought it was the best solution so far. And that is, there is a servo that controls the switch that locks the keys into the ignition. I'll explain that in a minute. How he got to it is by the steering column is pretty much the same in these cars, but put your fingers here right above the turn signal and then lift up. And the servo for the Traverse is located on this side, and he pushed down. There's a rod that comes out of the servo, and he just pushed down that rod. The key just came straight out. On the Equinox, it's located in a different place where it's required to take the bottom half of the column off. I've already taken mine off here. It's held on by 3, I believe, 8mm bolts. As soon as you remove those bolts, it'll come right off. It'll just pull straight down. I think you actually have to get your tilt lever and pull it down like that for it to come out. But for the servo on these cars, the body is located here. I've taken the rod out. The rod was fastened or connected to this fork here, and you could just push on the rod. Here's the rod right here, and you could just push on the rod, push in, and the keys would come out. But that means on these cars you would have to have the steering column off all the time. So what I did is I took a big pin and I wedged it between where the servo rod comes out and the lever or switch. It's a physical switch that rotates side by side. And if it's towards the passenger side, that's when the keys are locked in. If it's towards the driver's side, that's when it's unlocked for the keys to come out. So I wedged the pin lid here, and then I took safety wire and wrapped it around the servo body here to make sure that this lever stays towards the driver's side. So doing that, your keys will come out fine. The downfall to this, and if it bothers you, is no matter what gear the transmission is in, the keys can come out. I mean, you can stop the car and the keys will come out. They won't come out while the engine is running, while the keys are in the run position. But once you turn in the off position, they will come out. Some people that might bother. Doesn't bother me all that much. So I went ahead and did this to fix the issue, and so far seemed to have worked. I've kept the column off for a while to drive around to make sure that that pin lid holds, as well as the safety wire. So far so good, and hopefully this finds you as a solution. So there you go. Happy motoring.